morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's CISSP webinar. We genuinely appreciate your valuable time and your interest in our webinar. So thank you so much for joining us. We are expected to join more participants, but let's start now due to some time limitation. So let me quickly introduce myself and my company. I am Harshad from Knowlathon IT Services. Knowlathon is one of the premium training and certification providing organization in India, headquarters in Pune and established 2012. Knowlathon is only platinum partner in this region. We are aggregated partners of PMI, ISACA, Exim, TUV and others. So that's bit about Knowlathon. So in this webinar, you will learn about information security, and I'm sure you will get more clarity about CISSP certification. So are you guys really excited today? Just type in the chat excited. Great. Yes, Suman. So before we dive in, let me introduce to our today's esteemed speaker, Mr. Sujay sir. He is a technically inclined and highly empowered ISSM trainer with strong emphasis on interactive training delivery, enhanced learning through expansional hands-on activities. He has delivered many CISSP and CCSP training sessions virtually and in person, resulting in 90% plus success rate in certification exams. Also, he has managed operations across 5 countries within a comparatively small team of 52 members. So that's been about trainer. We understand that your time is valuable and we truly appreciate you being here today. So if you have any questions, feel free to choose the chat features and we will address those at the end of the session. Now, without any delay, I would like to hand it over to Mr. Sujay sir to kick off today's session. Welcome, Mr. Sujay sir.
Hey, good evening all. Let me share my screen. Is my screen visible to all of you? I should
Yes, sir.
just check on the chat if people are confirming.
Yes, sir. Your screen is visible.
Fantastic. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's get going. So we are going to discuss about the CISSP, which is Certified Information System Security Professional. It's a ISC Square Gold certification which is inclined towards getting you eligible for in advancing your career, starting your career in the field of information security. Okay, so why we are looking for a certification in information security today? What is information that we want to protect? So today, in the current world, if you all agree, information is something which is extremely important for any organization. So what is information? Information is basically any data what is available in your organization and which carries a value for your organization. And as that is valuable for your organization, you need to protect it. And that is where, if you see, there are a lot of organizations and a lot of countries which are coming out with their own information security framework, their own information security laws, like GDPR. India has come out with its own data protection act, which is DPDP, Digital Personal Data Protection Act. Okay, so with this, if you are certified on the information security, you have the high chances for getting yourself selected on a crucial security role. Okay, so we have discussed about Knowlathon These are the partnerships what Knowlathon has, and this is what we are going to cover today. Okay, so how you can prepare yourself for a CISSP and clear your exam. What are the CISSP domains? What's the syllabus we are discussing? How you can plan your studies? How the training session can help you? And what is that exam preparation for you? So that's what we are going to cover. How, when you want to appear for an exam, what is that you should have as an aspirant? So if you are an aspirant who is looking for the CISSP, then you should have knowledge about the basic security concepts, fundamental understanding of at least one domain of CISSP. Which are these domains? We are going to see in a while. Okay. If you know about risk management, fantastic. If you don't know, not a showstopper. And it is about the lot of reading on CISSP. Okay. Now, people say, and you, those who have visited the ISS Square site, they might have seen that when you are appearing for this exam, it is said that you should have minimum 5 years of experience and with 3 years in this domain, and you should have few additional security related background. So this information, especially from an experience standpoint, absolutely right. But it is not required for you to appear for the exam. It comes into the picture once you pass the exam. So you can, even if you are say 3 years, 4 years of experience and you want to appear for this exam, you can appear for the exam. When you pass the exam, you have to get endorsed that yes, whatever are my qualifications, these are. So when you do the endorsement, that time, say if you are having 4 years of experience, but you are a graduate, then 1 year of experience is waived off. Okay. Now, if your experience is not counted, what happens? You are registered as associate member till you achieve those experience. And the moment you achieve that experience, you become a certified professional. So the first thing that for appearing and getting ready for exam, there is no eligibility criteria. Okay? Any person who has a sound information technology background can prepare and appear for this exam. Okay. Now, how you will plan as an individual, you want to get ready, how? So the best way to prepare for this exam is you have to make sure that you divide your time based on your experience. Okay. And then you start preparation. Okay. The recommended way, which I followed, is that if you spare 2 to 3 hours a day on a weekend, and on a weekday, spare maybe a daily 1 hour for reading and practicing, you will be ready within 45 to 50 days to appear for the exam. Let me tell you, even if you appear for a training, reading will not get waived off. There is no excuse for the reading. Okay. And CISSP is the exam of understanding the concept. So it's a US standard exam. You are tested on the multiple choice questions and you are tested as a manager. So you have to appear this exam as a manager, not as a, network administrator, not as a the security executive, or not as a developer. You are appearing this exam as a management representative. So you have to think like a manager. Okay. And then when you appear and you answer those questions, because your responsibility as a security professional, as a manager, is to fix the process and not to fix the issue. Okay, you are going to have people in your team to fix the issue. So when you prepare for the exam, it is going to test you on your understanding of various concepts in the security domain. Okay, so is CISSP easy? Absolutely not. Is it difficult? Yes, it is difficult. That's why it is gold certification. Okay, is it doable? Absolutely doable. If I can pass it, you can pass it. It is about structured study, understanding the concept, understanding how you will decompose the question, understand the meaning, and then select the right answer. Okay, because you will be required to select one answer out of A, B, C, D. So you will have multiple choice A, B, C, D, and you have to select one of that. So if you select one answer out of that and you are able to be right and you reach the score of 70%. So how the 70%, I'm going to discuss about it. Okay, but if you achieve this score, you pass the exam. Okay, so when you start preparation, the good strategy is that 50% of your time should be spent in reading, 50% in practicing the questions. Okay, so you should solve at least 5,000 questions to get ready for the exam. Okay, and you can also have the group discussions. So you will get a structured guidance that how you should do. As I said, is it a difficult exam? Is it something uh, which is not like, you study and you pass? Then yes, it's a hard exam, because otherwise every Tom, Dick, and Harry will pass, and there will be too many professionals in the market. So it's a difficult exam with a passing rate of 20%. Okay, but if you select right path of the preparation, you get right resources. What are your resources? Resources are your books. Resources are your quizzes. Okay, resources are your tests. Okay, resources are like your flashcards. Resources are few videos which will help you in understanding certain key concepts. Okay, so if you follow this path, it is absolutely not difficult for you to crack this exam. Okay, so that is on CISSP. So what exactly you need to do? So CISSP has 8 domains. Okay, so the and post April 2024, which has just passed 2 months ago, there is a revision in the distribution of weightage. Okay, so from this, there is 1% increase in domain 1 against 1% is reduced from domain 8. Okay, so CISSP is actually one subject, but it is having 8 different domains. Okay, so CISSP, we say that it is inch deep, but it is a kilometer wide. So you have to go through a lot of concepts, and it starts with understanding of the security and risk management. It is extremely important that you understand the basics of security. You understand what is confidentiality, what is integrity, what is availability, which is the base. Then you speak about asset security. So what are the assets? You are talking about information asset. Okay. Then a extremely important domain today, which is security architecture and engineering, where we speak about encryption technologies. We talk about secure communication technologies, which is key today because you are having cloud environment, which has changed the way you work. Okay. Then you have communication and network security, which is about how the data is transmitted from one place to other place. So this domain speaks about lot of concepts. This is a kind of a tech domain. If you're not a techie, no problem. you can still understand because these are the concepts which are very interesting. Then you start with the building blocks. So this is your base, and then you build your building. So you start with identity and access management. So how you're going to create users, how you manage the access rights, how you monitor the access rights. So all that is covered in domain 5. Then this is about the software development and testing. So in domain 6, we speak about how you will do the security assessment and testing of the software, how you are going to manage the security operations. That means how you are going to manage your backups, how you are going to manage your disaster recovery and BCP. Okay, how you are going to manage your software and hardware infrastructure because it's about operations. Okay. And then the last is more of the software development security, where we speak about the normal development and also the malwares and the protection. Okay. So all these domains. So if you say, oh, identity and access management, I know it very well. I am a developer. I know about development. So I will focus on that, and I will make sure that I will score those 70%. Will it help you? It will not help you, because to gain that 70%, you have to score 70% of that confidence in each domain. Otherwise, you will not be able to clear the exam. So this exam is basically a computer adaptive test. Okay, what does it mean? So when your exam starts, you get the question number one. Question number one will have your options A, B, C, D. You will have to select one. Now, please note that in CISSP, there is no question where you will be asked select any two, any three. No. You might get certain match the following or drag and drop, but otherwise all the questions are A, B, C, D. You have to select one. Now say you select A and it is a correct answer. So the second question will be of a little more difficulty level. Okay, and it can come randomly from any domain. Means majority of the times you will not know that from which domain this question has come. So when you go to the second question and you select this question also, answer it correctly, your third question is little more difficult. Now you answer this correctly, then algorithm makes the fourth one little more difficult. Now, if this question is from say domain 4 and you answer it wrong, the next question will come with a lesser difficulty, but from the domain 4. So till you answer it correctly, the question will keep coming from domain 4, and then it will create a problem for you to score 70% from other domains. So that's why you have to answer this in a right way for all the questions, because it defines your confidence internal rule, and it scores you on 95% of the confidence you clear the exam. Now in CISSP, with April 15, 2024, your questions. Now we are not going to discuss linear. Linear is a written exam and it is not available in India. It is available in US and few other countries. So we are not going to discuss. We are going to discuss CAT. So till April 15th, the exam was of 4 hours with maximum 175 questions. This has gone. Now the exam is of 3 hours with 150 questions max. Now, why it is written 100 to 150? Because if you start answering the question and you reach to 70% with 95% of the confidence rule, at the 100th question, your exam will end. So after 100 question at any point of a time, if you achieve this, your exam ends immediately. You don't have to go to 150 questions. But when you prepare for your exam, you have to be ready to sit for 3 hours and answer all 150 questions. Because if you are not able to reach this 70%, then your maximum length exam rule and run out of time will come into the picture. Because at that time, whatever you have answered, the algorithm will try to evaluate if you have scored this 70% with 95% of confidence. So someone will come and tell you that, yeah, I passed at 100 questions. Yes, very good. But it's not necessary that everybody will pass at that level. Somebody will pass at 115. Somebody will pass at 135. That's okay. Somebody passes at 150 also. So your preparation has to be to make sure that you appear for full 150 questions. Okay. Now, here comes the important thing for the people who have already appeared for any competitive exam of, say, ISAC or someone in CISSP, or rather in any ISS square exam. You cannot flag the question for review. So when you are having a question on your screen, you only have next button. You do not have back. You cannot do not have flag for review button. So you have to select a answer and you have to click on next. The moment you click on next, boom, gone. You cannot change your answer. Okay, so you have to be very careful when you are selecting the answer. Okay, in this exam, there are in domain one, you have certain formulas which you have to remember, especially from a BCP perspective, which requires the calculation. For that, you will get whiteboard and you will also have the built-in calculator in your system. So you can do your calculations, because inside the exam centers, you are not even allowed to carry your handkerchief. Okay, you have to empty your pockets and enter the exam room. So that's where you will get a whiteboard and you will get the calculator in your system. So this is how exam will be there. So if you have to appear for the 150 questions, this is how it will be. So you will have 150 questions to be answered in 180 minutes. So on an average, you will get 1.2 to 1.8 minutes per question, which has just come down slightly as compared to the previous pattern. But this has gone, this is history. You have to stick to this. Okay. So you have to be ready to answer 150 questions. Now, when I said there are some changes, these changes are not big. There are small changes. So there are few changes in 6 subdomains and 65 topics, which are just randomly changed in the order. There are few concepts, 21 of them, the topics are removed, and there are 31 new topics which were already there in the outline, but now the emphasis is given more on these topics, which is added. Okay, so when we will go through the detailed training, you will come to know what is added and what is removed from the exam. Now, when you want to prepare for the exam, these are the key resources for the exam. So you have official study guide. You just have got a 10th edition, which is released, I think, on June 10th, which is available. So if you join this course through Knowlathon, you will get a PDF version of this. Then you also have few reference book. You have the test series. You have to go through it. Now, if you say, okay, I want to go through a book called All-in-One, it's okay. Okay, whatever is language which is comfortable for you, you can select that book. But our preference that you read this, because this is an official study guide of ISS square. So concepts are explained in a very different way in that. Okay. So you can go these study guides, then you can solve the test. Okay. And as I said, as you need to solve at least 5,000 questions to make yourself ready. Okay, and best option for you is that you start with the study guide, you read it. My recommendation, you should read it at least 3 times, because the third time the concepts start sinking in. Okay, and CISSP is the exam, it's a test of how you understand the concept, because your questions are scenario based. So when the scenario is given, and if you don't understand what exactly is asked in the question, you will not be able to answer it correctly. Okay, so if you do it that way, and you also have the reference, for example, there is a book called Think Like a Manager by Luke Ahmed. Okay, now this book has 25 sample questions. It is not to test your knowledge, it is not to give you a hint of the exam, but these questions are explained in a way that how each way you can think like a manager when you want to select the answer. Okay, so if you are a network admin, or if you are an identity and access management professional, or you are the SOC center employee, it will teach you that how on a particular scenario you should think like a manager. Then you have a last minute review book called Memory Palace. It's like a summary of what trainings you go through and you get ready. Okay, so these are few resources which will help you to prepare yourself and pass the CISSP exam in the first shot. You also have certain free videos on YouTube, okay, which will give you a good explanation of few concepts. But if you're serious, you want to go a time-bound way to clear the exam, the best way is that you join a guided training. So you understand which are the areas to focus, what is important, what are the concepts if you are not able to understand on your own, and you get help for your preparation. So that is how you get ready for the exam. Okay. So I will hand it over to Harshad again to take forward on the training thing. And then if you have any questions, we will get into it.
Hello. Yeah, so guys, if you have any questions, just use our chat feature. So we will address your queries. Yes, anyone have questions? Please type in the chat.
No questions, guys? Everything is understood?
Yes, please type in the chat box. Yes, Sanjeev. Yes, Sanjeev is asking about the cost of trading. Yes, our that our Knowlathon team will connect with you for the costing and all?
The training will be online and it will be delivered using the Teams platform. It will be a live training on the Teams. So, Jan, if you are the GRC professional, GRC is a component of the CISSP domain. So you will have to get into all other domains. So all 8 domains you will have to prepare. You will have to know the basic concepts about the development, the physical security, administration, database, data centers, all these things. Not in the deep level, but on the higher level. So this certificate, CISSP, when you pass the exam, it is valid for by default 3 years, and you have to earn the CP points by doing a continuous development. Okay, so you become the member of ISS Square, and you have to get 120 points, 40 CPs each year. So if you continue gaining these CPUs, there is a auto renewal of your certification. The validity by default is 3 years. But if you earn CPU or CPs, then it remains. Examination enrollment you will have to do on your own. If you need a guidance, yeah, the guidance will be there. Exam fee depends upon at what time you are enrolling. On an average, the exam fee is, I think, $699. But then there are frequent offers which come out from the ISC Square, where you pay maybe I think 50 or $60 extra, and you get the one attempt added in that. It is called peace of mind. So where you get 2 attempts in I think 650 or $700. Yeah. Any other questions? So CISSP, it is not like how many attempts you have. When you take your first attempt, and unfortunately, if you're not successful, then you cannot take the second attempt before 30 days. In the second attempt, if you are not able to crack, then you cannot take your third attempt within before 60 days. It's like that. So it's about that duration. But I think if you do a systematic study, you don't need multiple attempts. The CP is basically these are the points which you earn through a regular studies. For example, you become CISSP, then you are getting yourself ready, say for ISO 27001. So it's a new training which you are getting. You are learning something new. So that training, whatever points are there. Say, for example, if you take these kind of a trainings, you get 20 CPs. So those points you upload on the ISC Square, your members portal, and you can track your progress there. Also, if you attend certain seminars, certain webinars, okay, these seminars or webinars which are having a specific topic, you get the 1 or 2 or 3 CPs for that. There are so many of such events which keep on happening even on ISC Square's site also. So it is basically the uh, the target which is given to you, that yeah, you are CISSP, now you have to continuously keep you updated. So it's a target given for that. That is CP. Yeah. Anyone? Anything else on the exam or other preparation?
Anyone
No?
have questions? Please type in the chat box.
CISSP, I will not say it is hard. It is difficult because it's a gold certification. This certification has got a lot of market value. Okay, it gives you the status that yes, you are the security expert, information security expert. So that's why you are tested on the concepts. So it is like you are asking me a question, why medicine is hard. It is hard because you're going to treat patients. So similarly, CISSP is a difficult exam because you are going to be responsible for the protection of information of an organization. So you need to be expert. No, you can approach for the exam anytime. It's about you that you prepare an exam. The exams are happening all 365 days in the Pearson View Exam Center. So you have to pre-book your exam and you go and appear. So when you ask for a difficulty level, as I said, it's a gold certification. It is equivalent to the CISM certification of ISACA. Okay. So it's definitely not the entry level certification. It is for the professionals who want to grow in the security area in their career. It is for them. So definitely, it's I will say on a higher side on the difficulty. The passing rate I have mentioned already. Passing rate is around 20%. You have to select the exam center from the Pearson View exam centers, which are the list of the centers is available country-wise when you book for the exam. So you can select the location of your choice and you book the exam. It's a center exam. It's not the exam which is moderated from your home. You have to go to the exam center. Yes, the calculator is available in the system on which you will appear for the exam, because you need the calculator to do the mathematical calculations if required. There are few concepts where the mathematical calculations are involved, and if you are lucky you get that question, then you will have to use the calculator inbuilt in your system. So you cannot carry anything with you.
Yes, I think we have covered enough questions. So we are ending with Q&A. So do you have any questions? Please type in the chat. Yes. All right. I hope you enjoy this webinar, both educational and enjoyable. I hope you guys feeling awesome.
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
Samir have a question.
Yeah, the training will cover all the domains. It's not called modules, it's called domains. Modules are part of the domain, so you will be trained on all 8 domains. So everything what is required to clarify the concepts from a preparation perspective will be covered.
So everyone, please share your feedback regarding this webinar. Yes, Samir have a question, sir.
Yeah, if you are enrolled for the training, yes, you will get a few sample test papers. When I say sample test paper, it is nowhere going to match CISSP because CISSP questions are prepared by a pool of moderators which are not known to anyone, and it's a huge question bank. But you will get trained on how to understand the question, how to decompose the question, how to select the answer. So for that, enough and more practice questions will be shared with you.
Yes, sir. So we are ending with Q&A. So please share your feedback. I'm sharing the link with you on the chat. So if you have any queries, you can connect with us. For sure, our team will get back to you soon. So
Thank you.
yes, once again, thank you, sir. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining our webinar. Thank you. Bye. Bye, everyone.